everyone, it is Quicken and welcome back to Tattoo Talk Tuesday. So today's video is going to be kind of like, I guess like a trendy video that is going around YouTube, but like my own take on it, and that is tattoos under a microscope. So I was inspired to do this video after I saw a video by Stevia where she took makeup and she took counterfeit makeup and then high-end makeup and looked at them under a microscope. Actually, after I saw that video, I went and ordered this microscope, but I selected free shipping, so I just got it like 2 months later. So this is just a little USB microscope, and today I'm going to show you the difference between some of my tattoos. I want to show you some of my like professional done tattoos under a microscope versus some of my like stick and pokes, and I just want to show you some stuff like that. I also have some freckling in a lot of my tattoos. You might remember a post on my Instagram about some of this stuff where I kind of went more in depth. You can always follow me on Instagram at quietcoolkid. I want to show you some of the freckles in my tattoos as well. So unfortunately, I had already filmed this video, and it was one of the videos I lost when I lost my memory card at Terror Behind the Walls. If you missed that whole story, I tell the whole thing right here in this video. It's pretty devastating. So the first time I filmed this video, you might know I had some fake tattoos, and I showed the difference between the fake tattoos and the real tattoos. I lost all of that footage, but it did help me learn how to use this microscope a little better. So that video, although interesting, wasn't that good because most of it is the learning curve on how to figure out this microscope. So luckily for you guys today, I'm a little more acquainted with this microscope and found a lot of interest in the differences between my tattoos and how they look under my skin. So take two, a better video I feel, and yeah, give this video a thumbs up. Is it too soon to ask? Alright, so let's get into it. So I have my laptop set up right here, and the little microscope thing just has like a little light on it, and I'm just going to show you what it sees. And we are clearly in my living room because this is like a whole thing. So starting off, I'm just going to start off right on my thigh here. And this tattoo I've had probably about 8 years, so this is what it looks like. I'll give you a control, gotta like focus. Here's my dry skin, I guess. So here's a control. Well, this is actually in my tattoo, but this is like the skin in my tattoo. And here's like, moving along, here's some of the red of my tattoo. So you can kind of see right there, like that is a freckle right there. And sliding along here, I have like a little, I always thought it was like a spot out of the lines. Let's see if we can find it. Here's a hair follicle. So this is the black part of the tattoo. And you can almost see like some areas in here where it kind of looks like it's not completely saturated. But that might just be shading. Still pretty interesting to see like how deep and dark that is. So coming out to the edge of the tattoo, the part of the tattoo right here is like all red, brown, and like yellow. You can see some of that yellow right here. No! Sorry, I'm wasting everybody's time. Okay. What is that? A little pube? I guess here is a darker hair in my body. Yikes. So moving on, I have like a little cat scratch in this one tattoo. We should check it out. Ew. So moving on, I just wanted to say, like, you can kind of see just like how saturated and stuff these color tattoos really are, and we can move on. See, there's like these little pits and like freckles and things like that that have got me so curious. Okay, remember how I said there was like one dot that was out of the lines? So this is it. It looks really weird. Okay, moving on, I'm going to show you, so now we're going to move on to my stick and poke, which is on my leg here. Okay, so here is the top of the X sliding down. And let's just like zoom, get the right zoom in here. So you can kind of see that this is definitely different than our professionally done tattoo. It seems to like, it doesn't like completely saturate the area. It seems like there's just like, you can literally see like the pokes, like right there. I feel like you can really see the pokes super well. And yeah, like maybe I have dry skin, but like even right there, like it doesn't look completely saturated. But then if we go to my Playboy Bunny tattoo, which is a full black tattoo, you can see that like there's so much saturation in comparison to that. So we're gonna move on to my cardinal tattoo, which is a tattoo that I like complain a little bit that has freckling in it. So we're gonna see how that looks. So starting from the edge of my wrist and working up, this is the outline, and then you can see it goes right into that teal. So that teal is really beautiful, but even right there, you can see in the center, that is like a freckle. I'm sorry if you hear my cat eating. So it's interesting to kind of see how that freckle works. Like you can see all the teal, and the teal falls into like all the crevices of my skin texture. And then that freckle's just kind of splat right in there. Pretty interesting. I think the teal and the freckle almost turn it green. So, ooh. Moving up, this is the yellow flower. And that yellow is packed in there, baby. And then there's some gap in my skin. There's another freckle you can see forming there. I didn't know about that freckle, but I kind of know what they look like at this point. See, there's a lot of freckling. That is my, that is like my skin in a spot that's like left out. So that is pretty interesting. And then moving up here, here's more yellow with some freckling under there. That's my natural skin, and then we should be hitting the bird. Alright, here's the cardinal. Let me focus. Now, I don't have any stick and poke tattoos that are in color. Maybe some of you guys do, but the saturation is still great. This is one of the first tattoos I ever got on my lower arm. So I've had it for quite some time. This is the first tattoo I ever got from Mark Cross. I want to say maybe 7 or 8 years. So here are some more freckles, and these are pretty apparent on my arm. This feels really intimate. Here's some like discoloration around this part of the tattoo, and this is like my cardinal's wing. Hey John!
Hey, what's up?
I know what this looks like. So if you come, this hair follicle kind of looks like it's growing like right out of that red. So coming up here, we should be hitting the bird's little beak. The like weird little things you see in your skin are pretty interesting, like whatever that black spot is. So this is the tattoo on my wrist, and it has like a little bit of a blowout on it, so I'll show you that. So starting just from like the bottom of my wrist here. Let's focus. So this area of my wrist obviously gets like a lot of wear and tear, and you can see like this area in between, like where the outline starts and the borders of my skin have some ink that are like almost like you can see that this area is gray. So coming in, this is the blood drops that are pretty saturated. And then this is where I feel like I have experienced like a little bit of blowout. And it's crazy, it's pretty apparent, it's right there. That's pretty, yeah, so you can see, like I'm just double checking, like, I just want to make sure. Okay, so this is the area with the blowout. And that skin almost looks like gray in comparison to the larger picture here. Right there. It almost looks like a light is shining on it. Pretty interesting. So dragging down here, this is like where my veins and stuff are on my wrist, so I feel like, again, this is kind of like a weird area. And you can almost see that like shiny, similar, like, the pigment looks really saturated in those like valleys of my skin, but you can see it has almost that shininess to it. Here's some teal again, which I think looks really cool. Here's like a blend of teal and yellow. These are like the thorns. I think that looks really cool. Like that's, I feel like that's such crazy precision, like you can see it so well. Here's the pink. I'm going to show this tattoo on my ankle. That is a stick and poke that I got. Ooh. And my skin looks disgusting. So here is a stick and poke again, and it really doesn't look much like those other tattoos that we saw before. The area is like, the skin seems almost like more chewed and not fully saturated. Here is a really dark hair. And you can really just see that it's almost as if this ink is just laying on top of the area. It's not like fully penetrated in. Although it like doesn't really appear that way when you're looking at it visually, which is pretty interesting. I've heard that hand poke tattoos are some of the hardest to get removed, so I wonder why that is, because it seems as if this ink doesn't like really penetrate that deeply. So here you can just see like dots where this tattoo was put into my leg here. I shaved like 2 or 3 days ago, so some of these hairs are growing back. It's pretty weird. So again, this is almost like a silvering, sparkly skin, or like a shiny skin. And for kicks, we'll show my candy corn tattoo. Ooh. See how like the hair follicle is almost like orange? Pretty interesting. Let me know in the comments if you have like a tattooed leg that you don't really shave, because it's not as noticeable. I have like one tattooed leg and one plain leg, and I feel like I have to shave the plain leg way more. So that was just an idea of some of the tattoos that I have and some of the differences and what they look like under a microscope. It's a pretty interesting concept, but honestly just a lot of fun to check out. Like if you're somebody who is kind of interested in stuff like that, it's worth buying one of these microscopes. I feel like I've probably said microphones a couple times in this video now that I have said it with such confidence on accident. Anyway, it's pretty interesting to just play around and check out what your tattoos look like under the microscope. It was interesting to me to see the differences between tattoos I've had for like over 8 years versus tattoos that I have that are pretty new. And then the differences in saturation between my stick and pokes and my professionally done tattoos. Although I feel like my stick and poke tattoos are still bright and saturated, like by the naked eye, it was interesting to see them up close and to see that there is differences in saturation and pigmentation and where the pigment kind of lays on the epidermis. Let me know, would you want to see another video like this? Because I had a lot of fun, but I don't know what else there is to really show you, but it is really interesting. Let me know if you found it interesting to see how the freckles laid on the tattoos as well. I don't know if I'm a broken record with that, but it is something that I'm interested in because I do feel like the freckles interrupt the pigment and vice versa. So anyway guys, thanks for hanging out with me. I know this was a more trendy video, but trendy for a good reason. That was a lot of fun. Anyway, don't forget to subscribe to this channel, and I also have another, well, a complete tattoo playlist. I can link that down below. It has over 100 videos, but if there's a question you'd love to see answered, definitely comment down below, and I'd love to feature it. Anyway, until next time, guys. It's weirder because your hairs are longer.
I can't see anything because my skin's so like beat up.
No, that's what my stick and poke